The Thai army had them surrounded. 32 men, they say, were among more than 100 Malay Muslim separatists who attacked a dozen police stations and checkpoints earlier in the day. After an 8-hour standoff and exchanges of gunfire, the army attacked, killing everyone inside the Krue Se Mosque in Pattani. It's not Thailand's biggest or most beautiful mosque, but it is the oldest and most famous. What happened here 3 years ago still resonates throughout the region. And although the mosque's walls have been repaired, the scars are still painful. Halija Hali's 63-year-old father, Mail, was killed in the attack. She says he'd never been a fighter and wasn't a separatist. He'd simply gone to the mosque that day to pray.
To this day, I believe my father couldn't leave the mosque. Maybe somebody stopped him. I'm sure because he was a good man and never hurt anybody.
Nising Nalea was there too. He prayed with the rebels the morning of the siege and says he and anyone else who wanted to was allowed to leave before the army assault.
They asked them to surrender and defend themselves in court, but they didn't surrender. On the contrary, they wanted to fight and intended to die in the mosque.
Whether or not all of the men inside the Krue Se Mosque that day were militants, many believe the attack was unnecessary because the rebels were lightly armed and running out of ammunition. A government investigation determined that the army's use of force was excessive, especially considering the mosque's historic and religious importance.
For the people in the south, I think the symbolism of attacking of the mosque will stand really clearly as an affront against the religious identity that the people consider extremely sacred.
The inquiry also found that the general who ordered the attack disobeyed orders from Bangkok to give negotiations more time. But General PALLOP PINMANEE says he's a scapegoat, that the report is unfair.
I only regret that I didn't attack earlier, because if I had, 3 of my men would still be alive.
It's that kind of attitude that Thailand's Malay Muslim minority says typifies the Thai government's disrespect for their religion and culture and disregard for their lives. And the memories of what some call the Krue Se Mosque massacre continues to provide ammunition for those fighting for independence from Thailand. David Hawkins, Al Jazeera, Pattani, Thailand.